Welcome to Dindo Real-Time Subcontractor and Supplier Comparison. This will allow you to send trade packages to suppliers and subcontractors for quoting. The first thing that we'll need to do is to set up the suppliers. We select suppliers and then new, type in a contact name. Then we'll move across and put in a business name as well. After we've had the business name, we select the tag. In this case, they're a plumber. And then we're going to select that they're a preferred supplier and then press create. Now we have suppliers set up. Let's go back to the Dindo dashboard. Select a job to start the tendering process. I'm going to select Dindo Testing Commercial 3. You'll see here that we're in the estimate screen. Next thing that we need to do is just select the compare. When we select the compare, Dindo automatically pulls the trades and quantities from your estimate. On the left-hand side here, we have the trades under the trade list. And on the right-hand side, we have the details. We have the quantity and the rate and the cost total. The next stage is to create quotes or quote groups, add suppliers, and send or import their pricing via CSV. It's quick and clean and very consistent. You can add things manually as well. Now we're going to select the trade demolition to begin the comparison task. So we just move on to demolition. Next, we'll create quote group by selecting the plus button here. We'll be asked to enter in a quote due by date. This is when we want the quote back by. You also have description, scope of works and exclusion, which we can go into in more detail later. And we go create. We're shown a selection of suppliers. To select a supplier, you can just double click. You can start typing the name of the supplier, bring up the name again, or you can use the tags to bring up the suppliers as well. So currently we have 2. Next stage is just to go save and next. Now we're presented with all the items for demolition that comes from the estimate. If there's something there that we don't really want to quote for, we can just untick it. And now we're going to save and finish. So now we have 2 new supplier subcontractors being added to the side-by-side view, ABC Corp and Jim. From here, we can either just start to type in what the rates or the totals are, or we can send out a CSV file, or we can import a CSV file in. So we have 3 different ways of really entering in the data. So we can import a CSV file, which saves a lot of work. You can start to type in one rate at a time, or you can use a lump sum. Let's start by importing a price file from a supplier or subcontractor. First, we're going to click on this icon here, select here, find the file you want, select worksheet, yeah. This is the header. Next, and you can see that these items were in price, so we can just import that. We can say for which supplier, we're going to say for ABC, and then go import. So now all the prices have been imported. You have a final price down the bottom of close to 100,000, and you're plus 40,000 more. So it's reasonably expensive. The next method of bringing in a price would be if you have a lump sum from someone, and the lump sum might be 53,000. You can then prorate that based on a number of different methods here, and then just go update. And now you have the lump sum totals in there. Another way of doing this is that we could just type in those values. In this one here, we could, if it's not 2,722, but it's like $1,450, we can type over the top. And we can also say that that's really a plug figure that I'm putting in. We could also have, so we say copy this from the estimate, and it would copy the estimate value here. or we could say that this is an include, or it could be E for exclude. So you have some shortcuts here, and then it gives you the new values down here. Up the top here, you can view things from a lot of different options, and the same at the bottom of the screen here. You can change how you're viewing the information there as well. We want to select the suppliers we want to use. You can select one supplier or multiple suppliers, so you can pick and choose. So in this case, let's select ABC Corp, and we're going to select supplier quote. So you see all the items in there turn to green, which means they're selected. However, if in this case you didn't want to use, say, any of these values, you wanted to use another supplier, and this could be multiple suppliers, like I say, you could come here and you could select that quote item. And then you could come here and say, select that quote item. So we have some being supplied by Jim, some being supplied by ABC. You can also apply comments or tasks by just selecting comments. You could write in a comment for someone or for yourself, or if you wanted a task, you could assign it to a particular person, give it a due date, and then that's done. It applies it, and you can view comments by opening up the comments panel here at the top. You also have the ability to open up a chat, so you can chat with other people in the team about what's going on. And up here, you'll see who else is working on the collaboration. So a big thing with Dindo is that it's real-time collaboration, so we can have as many people working in the one screen at the same time. Now we can go and have a look at the quote summary. And in the quote summary, we have the selected cost item, which is in green, the estimate cost, which is in dark blue, the average cost, which is in purple. So even though that Jim's total quote was 42,000, we've only selected around 27,000. And ABC, even though that the whole thing was 94,000, we've selected 75,000. You'll see that here on the right-hand side, 27 here and 75 here, and made up in the pie chart as well. And then you have all the different cost variables running down here. The other thing is we could always add on an adjustment that can either be by way of a percentage, or you can just type in an amount here and it will adjust it. You just go update and it readjusts everything. There's other functionality provided as well. We'll just go into touching the basics. Now we can go into the review screen. We've got demolition, the estimate cost. We're selected 100%. Selected cost is this. We had an adjustment of 5.83%, which is 6,000. And we've selected a total here, and we have a potential saving here of 17,000. And down here it shows you the different suppliers that we've selected. Next stage is we can go back into the estimate. Just wanted to show though that if we change something in the estimate, if we've made some sort of adjustment, we've now said that we need 4 of those, and we go back into compare, you'll see that it's highlighted, source item has been updated. So this means anywhere where this little red recalc icon is, means that you'll need to send that back to the supplier subcontractor to update his rates. Go back into the estimate again, and if we toggle between the show hide here and select the values, we'll see them come up here in green, and they're the selected values. One of the things in the compare program is that we could have also come here and turn on the selected values, so we can see the different companies and the selected values here, which is reasonably important. Gives you a good overview. So now we'll go back into the estimate, and we can see the selected rates and what the selected totals. If we wanted to use any of the selected rates or totals to replace the rates in the actual estimate, we can do that as well. But one of the other things, if we click on one of these, we'll see down the bottom of the screen that we have information like its demolition and what the item is and who the supplier is and all the information about this particular item. But if we wanted to replace the estimate cost with this, we just click on it and go replace. So you can see now that it's replaced it. Do that again. Replace. So now it's replaced that. The green icon just means that it's been a selected rate from the comparison. Stage of the comparison will be sending out the invitation through Dindo and having the supplier, subcontractor being able to get in and put their own rates directly into the system. That's not too far away. Thank you.